First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So this is a special celebration week for two of our family members in law enforcement.
It is. It's Telecommunicator Week. Boy, my mouth ain't working this morning. Which are our dispatchers, and then we have our animal control officers. So, and we've celebrated both of them. And Carol, thank you for a lot of the coordination on that. And we had a luncheon for our animal control officers, and then we had a take-in lunch over at CCOM Center for our dispatchers.
Right, and so there's a lot of them. So, you know, we have animal control doing what they do and taking the time out to actually appreciate that we were appreciating them, if you will. So that was a good thing. But they after they were done putting on their vests, they're like, oh my gosh, wonder how many calls are backed up right now. And it was like an hour-ish that they were off the road. But we do appreciate everything that they do.
And there's only 5 of them.
Yes.
I mean, this is the 38th largest landmass county in the country. And there's only 5 of them to traverse 6,200 square miles. They do an amazing job. And you're right. When they check on in the morning, if it hasn't been a priority call out the night, you know, during their off time, when they check on in the morning, they're usually backed up on animal control calls. So they just start checking them off. So, yeah, they do a really, really good job.
And they're such good team members. Just listening to the banter, it was, you know, hey, I had to do this all by myself. And the other one said, well, wait a minute. While you were doing that, I had to cover the rest of the county all by myself. And that's a huge, huge area. So thank you to all the animal control officers.
And an extra shout out there to Al Thomason, too.
Yes.
Al's a retired lieutenant from us. He works at USDA. He does the farrow animals that provide a nuisance within the county, especially in the ranching community where they're going after the cattle and the livestock. But Al, half his salary is paid by the county, which means he helps us on those kind of calls. So thank you, Al. And for the rabid animals, the skunks and things that get rabid and then terrorize communities and people. So, again, I saw Al yesterday. Thank you, Al, if you're listening to this.
And for CCOM, you know, that's something that's evolved over the past 4.5 years, and they do a phenomenal job. You know, their staffing levels were critically low not too long ago in November of last year. And now with a lot of innovation and ways of looking at things, this is a great celebration this week because you have so many people you can celebrate.
Yeah, we've come from the sparse lands, let's put it that way, where we're really hurting on staffing at CCOM. We're starting to get back up. Again, if you're interested in a job in telecommunicating, I mean, let us know. But long story short is, yeah, we're getting the numbers up a little bit, and we got 6 or 7 over there right now. We're waiting for the final steps, so we should get them on board. So we're getting there. And it's nice to see that because it's been a struggling for the last 1.5 years, 2 years.
For the past couple of weeks, we've been all over Cochise County talking about the jail district, and we've wrapped up those town halls, but we still want people to be informed because we're still coming up on the vote.
It is. So the ballots go out next week. It's all mail-in ballot. So they go out next week, and then May 16th is the election day of it. That's when, and you can drop your ballots off on May 16th. But it's all mail in, so you're not going to be going to polling. And there's drop-off spots throughout Cochise County at the county regional centers. You can go online at the Cochise County's website or ours, and you can see that on our Facebook. But long story short is, yeah, we've done a lot of work over the last, I say 2 years, but really it's been 11 years since I've been sheriff. We've been working on this one way or another, and I tell you, this boils down to quality of life. I'm going to keep saying that. The quality of life when it comes to having a proper, modernized jail that can take care of those that need to be in jail. A lot of people say, well, it's just a jail. I mean, granted, we're not building a park here, but we're building something that's very instrumental in the criminal justice system. It's the hub of it. So for about $67 per person per year is what it's going to cost. And that doesn't include, that calculation does not include guest tourists that come here, spend money, which only reduces that $67. So it's a nominal fee, my mouth's just not working today, but it is. It's very nominal. But look at the quality of life. And I'd also ask you to look at the officer and inmate safety that provides a jail, plus the medical and mental health that provides. Those are the 3 priorities, by the way. We went around the community. So, yeah, we need your support.
And this Monday, if you're not registered to vote, is your last chance to register to vote so you can be included in the mail-in ballots. So Monday, your last chance to vote or register. The 19th, the ballots go out, and you have to return those by May 16th.
At 7 p.m. Yes,
7 p.m., yes.
And so that night, we hopefully about 8, 9 o'clock, we should know exactly if we are going to get a new jail here. I always tell people this, too. If this doesn't pass, the consequences are going to be very costly. We looked last year to see what it would cost us if we had to shut this jail down, or if a court order came in and said we're going to shut it down. It's 40 years old that they shut it down, and we have to bus our inmates outside the county. That's $9 million is what we looked at, that on top of what we already do. So, again, it's very costly if we don't do this. And this is not a property tax. If we did a property tax, Grady, it would be 31% per land property owner, which equates to about 41% of the people are property owners in Cochise County. That's a lot of money. We're not asking for that. We're asking for a half-cent sales tax. What I'm talking about is a half-cent sales tax, folks.
And it impacts everybody, so it's just not on the shoulders of the property owners.
Right, and we're not asking for property. It's an all-user half-cent sales tax. So, again, we're asking for your support. I've said this before, and I said this during the community meetings. You know, for 11 years, the team, the men and women, have worked really hard to bring in over $100 million worth of grants to offset costs for the sheriff's office, offset costs for the taxpayers here. And now I'm asking for your help, because this is a community. We've secured about $22.2 million from the state and the federal government, but now we need some help finishing. It's about $92 million to $100 million project. That's what the estimate was about a year and a half ago, and we know the costs of construction are high right now. So hopefully that'll come down. I don't know. Hopefully that'll come down a little bit.
Let's hit on the Sierra Vista Chamber for a minute. So they got a couple of things going on. Commander Bradshaw submitted the sheriff's office for a business of the year. So at least they're going to consider that. Maybe it's in the nomination phase of the sheriff's office being considered as a large business of the year. And then we also had the chamber leadership in Bisbee yesterday doing that section of their tour. And that's a really good program where people from all over get nominated from their organizations to attend. They pay the fee, and then they are in it for months to just learn about Cochise County and the organizations they're in, and networking and being able to count on that for any future endeavors going forward.
It is. And let me start with the nomination. The Chamber has their annual gala every year, and this year, and they recognize their small business of the year, large business of the year, and there's one more category they do in their creative, I think, business or something to that effect. But long story short is one of my staff put in for that, for large, and we've been nominated to go further. I don't know how that system all works, but we're pretty proud of what we've done. I mean, the men and women here that work here, we have worked hard to integrate in the community, be part of the community, be a household name in Cochise County. It's not just a department or an office like, hey, what office what do they do? Though they're just cops. No, we're more than that. We're your neighbors. So we've pushed that really hard, and I think when you read the nomination letters, it was very impressive about being your neighbor and being part of what we do every day in this community. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be up on April 28th. And then the Chamber of Commerce, we've both been through that. Carol and I both have, where I call it an educational network, because you network with your classmates, about 20 in the class, and then you go around, you have Education Day, you have Law Enforcement Day, you have Border Day, Fort Huachuca Day, and on and on. And it's really impressive because you see so much of the inner workings of government here in Cochise County. So yesterday was our day. They were they were at Service PD in the morning, Law Enforcement Day, CCOM, and then we've provided them lunch and a tour of the sheriff's office and our jail, the crumbling jail. So it was really nice to spend some time with them. I think there was 24 total down there. So again, Melanie doing a great job with the chamber there.
The Cochise County Sheriff's Office is always adding to their technology, and now we're talking drones.
We are talking drones. So we work. Excuse me. We've been working with a company for last year, so it's been in progress. And what we've developed is an artificial intelligent drone, and it's pretty good size. It can go up for a couple hours, and so we unveiled that this week. The company came down. It's over a $1 million item. It's like $1.5 million based on the artificial intelligence been built inside the solar, but it can do some amazing things when it comes to lost people. I mean, you put it up, its job is to find the people, not the drone. So it's just got some really cool things. I don't want to go into a lot of details what it can do, but it's an effort for public safety and national security and even humanitarian. And I say that in fact, we're going to first mission of it. We're going to be using it in one of our canyons here locally, where we're missing 2 or 3 migrants that we think perished up there coming across the border. So we've been looking for their bodies for the last couple of weeks, and so that drone's going to be instrumental in doing that. So again, it's just a sadness, but it's a realness what we could do with that drone. So we're excited about it. That was a donation. They actually donated. We had a meeting there today with our Border Patrol partners, because everything we do is regionalized. It's working with Border Patrol, sharing resources, sharing the technology with our local police departments and also our troopers. So I'm very impressed with what we're doing here in the county. I mean, you look at the collective effort here, we're making some differences.
And it's, again, that was a donated thing. And so working into costs like the jail district, any donations we have, the grants that we receive, you have to roll all of that into one. And then as a side note, you were working on the budget. So you have the budget meetings coming up.
We do. And one thing I've committed to as a sheriff is the fact that if we can bring in the money through other sources, private donations all the way up to grants, government grants, and we can offset those costs, that only helps the taxpayers. I mean, for a rural sheriff's office to bring in over $100 million to offset vehicle costs, personnel costs, jail costs, I mean, you name it, aircraft. Our new aircraft should be up. I'm hoping by end of May, and that's probably more optimistic than not. But again, another resource that we can use in these pursuits. We're looking for people. I mean, you name it. Someone breaks in a house like we had the other day and scared, a little 9-year-old comes home and finds somebody in his kitchen. Again, those are things we want that helicopter up. Aircrafts are amazing when it comes to rural policing. Unfortunately, a lot of rural police agencies can't afford them for the right reasons. We've been lucky enough to secure that. So, again, we're going to continue doing that. So when I go to the budget, pretty much besides some basic operational upgrades, our always number one goal has been take care of the talent that works here. Give me the competitive salaries for those that work here. Because, folks, if we lose the talent here, I guarantee you, if we become a stepping stone for hiring, which means they come, we train them, we spend like $100,000 to train a deputy, for example, and then they leave a year later, that is not fiscally responsible. So get it on the front end. Let's take care of them on market adjustments. We're not getting rich out here, but at least we're in a market competitive salary, and that's what this is all about.
Your safety message this week is about suicide prevention.
It truly is. Yesterday, helping the deputies, I responded to a call, and it was a suicide. And these are tough, because when you get there and when they perish like that, then you start talking to family and friends, and they tell you, yeah, he wasn't doing well, this wasn't good, this is what we tried. My thoughts are this: call us. Always call us. Don't be afraid to call us on these suicides, or somebody that's not doing well, that's struggling internally. And it's something a lot of us don't understand. I get it. Until you've been there, how do you know? I mean, really, the mind's a powerful thing. And I always tell people, be your best friend, but those are cheap words when you're so deep into depression. So, again, there's resources. Law enforcement has those resources. If you call us, we'll come out. We're very compassionate about it. All the agencies I know that work with this, your cities and your sheriff's office, we will come out. We can provide those resources at no charge. I mean, we're not charging you for this. And the resources that accompany, we have a new doctor on board that is part of that early intervention. So there's a lot of things we can do. There's also a new line a lot of people don't even know about, Carol.
Yeah, so 988. So if you don't want to call anybody else, if you don't want to call, a friend, you don't want any type of stigma, you don't want to bother people, maybe if that's the thought process, call 988. That is the suicide prevention hotline. That's their number. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, multiple languages. Whatever you need to do, they have somebody there who can help you. They can talk to you. They can help you with resources. So make sure you give them a call, and it's 988.
I think that's so important. A lot of people don't even know that. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that. I mean, but those simple 988. Mm-hmm. And we got 911, of course, but 988 for mental health. And we get that out there to help people. I think we're doing something. And sometimes it just takes that encouragement by a friend or somebody that they respect to push them into that limit, because, suicide's irreversible. And if we can get some help before that, we're doing something well.
there's going to be a new captain at the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
There is. Tim Williams. Tim Williams was promoted. He actually it goes into effect just like you do, Grady. You both are starting at the same time. Tim was a sergeant with us. Tim's actually built our border team to include our virtual team. So Tim's going to move up to a captain position, and he's going to oversee my border operations. And he has earned that. Let me just say, he has worked his butt off to do things that people didn't think he could do. I didn't think he could do it. And I gave him the expectations as a sergeant, saying this is a new assignment. Good luck. You always expected, certain things, but he took it to a level I would never seen or expected. But he has earned that, so now he's going to be moving in that position, and I wish him well. So he'll be working at a new border building on the west side here. So we're excited for him. Congratulations, Tim.
That's right, and it's a nationwide project that he's actually, people are modeling theirs after this. So that's a really good deal.
And we just submitted that model, believe it or not, because it is. What we've done here in Cochise County is actually a model for a lot of our urban areas. We're trying to get into our urban areas, and we're doing really well with that, working with national sheriffs and western state sheriffs and southwest border. In fact, I have a meeting next week with this. But we're taking our model with all from financial crimes, human trafficking, intel, street crimes, I mean, you name it, border operations, and all the technology built within each one of those. We've done some pretty amazing things. And so we need to continue, because we know what comes in this county from the border is not staying in Cochise County. It affects us on a negative scale, but if we can take it into the urban areas where a lot of the product, and sadly where they traffic these people, we can do something very positive, not just Cochise County, not just Arizona, but on a national level.
And so we're looking at different things that you've seen in traffic stops, that everybody's seen in traffic stops. So one of the biggest things I think that you've noted a couple times over the past several months is registration renewals. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
It is. And I don't know if COVID just kind of fractured everything we do, but it truly seems like everything just saying stopped, whether it be the supply chain. But one thing that, and I'm not saying this is the factor behind this, an opinion only, is the fact that I stop people and they tell you, well, I never got my MVD renewal for my registration. And I tell them, I said, but that's not a defense. You're responsible to make sure you have your proper registration insurance on your vehicle. And whatever vehicle you drive, you're responsible for that. I will stop people, it's not my car. It's irrelevant. You are responsible for what you drive down the highway. And we tell people, we're sympathetic to it, because I understand that there's been some transition in motor vehicle, and I'm not going to speak ill of that. But I'm seeing more than not of that, where I didn't get it. So, again, you can go online, set up. I know they got a new system. My wife does that, so I can't say if I can navigate that, or just go to motor vehicle, go to Ginger's and say I need to renew it, and they can help you with that. But please, if you look at your plates today, take a look and make sure it's organized in your glove box. You have an insurance card, registration card, and the stickers on the plate. It just makes it so much easier for you and law enforcement.
Because driving is a privilege, it's not a right.
That's exactly. We didn't have cars when they put the Constitution together. So, again, it is much a privilege, but people take that as a right. And but we want to support it, but we want to keep it safe. And let me say, if you have expired registration, you're diverting a law enforcement officer to your plate instead of somebody that we need to look at, especially if you have it sitting in your glove box. So just take a few minutes and just make sure that's all organized.
And speaking of stops, let's do your stops of the week. And this time there's more than one?
There is. I want to start off, and this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm just going to throw that out there. This is a beautiful county, but you drive around and you see trash. So I was coming home the other day, a couple of days ago, and I'm turning off Ramsey Canyon, where I live in that region, and I see this truck at a stop sign, and the passenger takes an item out and throws it on the road. Litters. It's called littering. So I stopped him. He gets out, picks it back up, and so I'm talking to him. He had thrown out one of those little blow torches, like lighters, but they're like on steroids, and it was half full. Sadly, he threw it at a bus stop for kids. And these are young kids. They get picked up at this bus stop. So I talked to him. He goes, yeah, I should have done that, and talked to him. But I ended up charging him for placing an injurious item on a roadway. I told him, I said, can you imagine the kids that sit there and just kind of mingle and talk every morning at that bus stop, and it's right there, find this lighter, put it in their backpack, and something bad happens. Whether that the chemicals inside gets on them, whether they start a fire, who knows? Because these are young little guys, young kiddos. So don't throw stuff out the window. And it's a costly fine. And this is going to be costly to him, too. So, again, keep our county clean. Get a trash bag, or take the respect and put it into a trash can.
And then there was another one.
Yeah, this is the first too. That was the first time I ever charged him with that offense, by the way. But the other thing I charged, was I was heading down the highway, and I look over, and first of all, the car didn't pull out immediately when the light turned green. So it always draws attention to law enforcement. So I pull up alongside it, and I looked. The driver was trying to, as she drove her car, was trying to fill her vape pipe and drive down the road.
Priorities.
Thank you. Yes, very much priorities. And I'm like, I had to look twice and go, am I really seeing that? Am I truly seeing that? This was a week for uniqueness, truly uniqueness. And so I stopped this individual, and we had a discussion about inattention and driving. And I said, this is a first for me, but I'm going to handle like I would any other one. So, again, and I'll just say it. I was at another intersection, one more traffic stop here. I was going to our animal control meeting.
I was going to ask you about that one.
Yes, and I'm at the intersection, and I smell marijuana. Now, I know marijuana is a legalized recreational drug, but you can't smoke it in a car. You can't smoke it in public. These are privatized, type laws now. But I smell marijuana. I'm looking around the intersection. I look to my left, and there's two people in a car passing a cigarette back and forth. So I think we all know me well. I turned my lights on, stopped the intersection, walked over and addressed that. And they were like, oh, wow. So, folks, you can't smoke marijuana in a car. That's like drinking a beer in a car. Those are impairment-type items. They're drugs. So, again, if you do that, you will be charged.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you, everybody. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next Friday.
And, Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Interim Director of CCOM, Tammy Jo Wilkins.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Ms. Tammy Jo Wilkins, for being here, Interim Director for CCOM.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this week.
This week is National Telecommunication Officer Appreciation Week. I probably said that wrong. And we have been showering our staff with love from everybody across Cochise County.
And they've been bringing in food. They have different gifts that they've been giving, but that's just a nominal thing that has been going in compared to what they do every single day coming out.
Yes, the staff we have here at CCOM is absolutely phenomenal. I've never worked with a more dedicated, passionate staff before in my many lines of work. I'm excited to be a part of CCOM, and I'm excited to watch what people do every day and the partnerships that are developed and just the people that are in there. It's fun to go to work.
Give us a day in the life of a 911 operator.
I'm busy. I don't think that there's a better word to describe it. The multitasking that occurs, the teamwork that occurs, the nonstop activity that occurs. Sometimes they don't even have an opportunity to take a break to refill their water bottle or to just step away for a few minutes. So nonstop right now.
And how many agencies come into there through the phone lines and computer lines and radios?
Oh, there's multiple agencies across the community. We have all of the police departments and all of the fire departments. We do a lot of communicating with DPS. We do a lot of communicating with Border Patrol due to the activities that have been happening here in the community. There's multi agencies that come into our group.
And then the schedules, it's not like a regular Monday through Friday 8 to 5. You know, you hit the ground running for the most part when you get in there. You have to strategically place your breaks, if it is, and when I'm saying breaks, I'm talking bathroom breaks, because you don't know what's going to happen. There are significant bad words to use in a comm center, right? And one of them is that starts with a Q.
Yeah,
so you
don't
can't
say
the
it.
word quiet.
Don't say it.
I know. We're in here, though. We're good.
No, it's not.
So you just have to make sure that give them some appreciation, even if you are not in that room understand that they don't talk to people just to say, hey, how's your day going? They talk to people on probably some of the worst days of those people's lives.
Yes.
And they have to be the voice in the dark.
They do, and they handle it like champs, and they pick up and move on to the next person calling in with the worst day of their life. It takes a special person to be a CCOM dispatcher for sure.
It does. And you have staffing now, so that's awesome.
Yes.
So are you hiring?
We are building an eligibility list at this time. So if anybody's interested in a career in public safety telecommunications, please apply on the City of Sierra Vista website, and we will be in touch with you with some virtual testing opportunities, and then we'll put you on an eligibility list that will be good for a full year. So when we have openings, we can draw from that list.
You talked about multitasking, and I've been in that room, and I've seen how many screens they're looking at, how many phones are at their access. There's even foot pedals. Kind of tell us all of the stuff that one person is using.
There's multiple mouse pads or mice for the different computer screens. They've got a Vesta computer screen. They've got, like, when you call 911, it automatically pulls it up on a map so that the dispatcher can see where you're calling from. They've got a Spillman screen where they type in call information and they keep track of everybody who's on duty. They have a screen with all of the various fire and medical radio frequencies that you can click on and basically talk to. And then there's even a bank under the computers of different speakers where you might have one frequency in your ear but another frequency on the speaker because you have to keep track of what's going on. And then, of course, all of the phone lines that come into the console.
And that's a lot.
Yes, including 911.
That's multitasking.
Yes. Very talented.
And in addition to that, you also have to have your records people. So that's one of the things that is critical in any area. So you can have, because paperwork is paramount. It truly is too.
Yes.
So you have to have somebody that handles all of that side of the house, but they're embedded in the same room, which is good.
Yes.
So they can hear what's going on, and then they can ask questions, or they can be of assistance too. So it just is just a huge, huge team.
It is. It's a very large operation with very limited bodies.
That's right. And they do a phenomenal job.
Well, we thank you for everything that you do, and all the telecommunicators. You guys are amazing, and this is your week. Thank you.
Well, can I just make a shout out to everybody who's come in and shared love with the facility this week? We've had Fry Fire, Sierra Vista Fire, Sierra Vista Police, Cochise County Sheriff's Office, the Constable, USDA has come in, and that's just to name a few.
Fort Huachuca?
Oh, yes. Fort Huachuca came in to visit with us this week to kind of share tips on how we're doing with our comm center so that they can pick up with what they're doing in their comm center. HCI came in with some root beer floats for everybody and partaked in that. And today we're being spoiled with tacos from one of our favorite taco stands. So
you deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And who do we have coming in next, Carol?
We have Michelle from Lori's Place.
First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
Brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Hey, Cochise County, and welcome, Michelle from Lori's Place. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Oh, boy. We have Cochise Family Advocacy Center. Lori's Place is hosting our very first annual golf classic on May 12th. This is going to be at Mountain View Golf Course right at the Fort Huachuca Buffalo Soldier Trail. We are doing a check-in at 7 a.m. and an 8 o'clock shotgun start, and it is going to be a four-player scramble. However, I do have set up for people to do doubles or single players, and then we'll just mesh them together to make it work. If people want to find out more about that, they can go to our website. There's tournament website and everything as well. That's at birdies.com/23372. Or our website is loriesplaceaz.org. And basically all the proceeds and everything will go to funding for Lori's Place to help, keep us going, to help keep us working.
What if you get a hole-in-one?
If you get a hole-in-one, we just found out that Lolly is going to be doing our hole-in-one sponsorship. So we're very excited about that as well. And also, I just want to let people know that if they maybe don't want to golf, but they want to sponsor at a certain level, they can donate the team to any organization they want. We just had the auxiliary, one of the women's auxiliaries in Tombstone, donate 2 foursomes.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm, yes.
So remind us, what does Lori's Place do?
So Lori's Place treats victims of violent crimes. We do forensic interviews. We do forensic nursing exams. We do all follow-up care. We've got a trauma counselor on staff. And so basically child abuse, domestic violence, assault, rape, sexual assault, neglect, human trafficking, and we've also done suicide and homicide notification.
And if people want to help you out or the community wants to donate, volunteer, how can they do that?
Oh boy, we're definitely looking for volunteers right now, and of course always for donations. They can call us at 520-515-4444. They can go to our website at www.loriesplaceaz.org. They can get us on our Facebook page at Lori's Place AZ 2022. Or they can stop by. We're at 214 East Tacoma.
Okay, so before you go, let's invite everybody to your golf tournament. Remind us about the dates, times, how to get there, all of that one more time.
Awesome. Everybody's welcome to come, and we need volunteers for that, too. This is going to be on May 12th, Mountain View Golf Course. We're doing a check-in at 7 a.m., shotgun start at 8 o'clock. And if you want to register, please go to our website, loriesplaceaz.org, our Facebook page, Lori's Place AZ 2022, or you can go to birdies.com/23372, and we do have a QR code on our website and our Facebook page. You can scan that. It'll take you right to register.
Well, Michelle, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So this is almost like speaking a different language when we talk about this. But yes, reach out to Cochise County Sheriff's Office by phone, 520-432-9500. You can reach out on our Facebook page, Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels, and that'll take you to links for our Twitter account and our Instagram. So give us a shout.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 K.